I don't care. I don't care what they think. Here we go, here we go, here we go again. Hey fam, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertantonnyc.com, coming to you with your no frills American Idol commentary from a singer. I keep doing that again. I even just made a video of me doing a reaction to Justin Bieber, and I said I'm about to go watch The Voice, right? I guess I'll annotate that later when I get a chance, alright? I was trying to multitask and everything. Oh my goodness. Go over and watch that video if you want to. Anyway, we started out today with Idol framing the chamber again. They like to bring in this chamber, this new thing, talking about how it's like a portal to the future. You know, you leave your past behind and you could just change your whole life by going through this portal. So, they started out at 7:30 a.m. in Salt Lake City, Utah today. Day one, we started with Austin Wolfe. 16 did Radioactive by Imagine Dragons. And I could not help but think of that Kendrick Lamar performance on that was okay. But anyway, I got past it, and she was young and sweet and clean with a nice sound and good pitch. And for me, she had a nice interpretation on the melody. J-Lo said she has the whole package. 3 yeses to go to Hollywood. Keith said she's a force to be reckoned with. And there's a lot, so I might skip some people. I might, you know, you never know what's going to happen. But just stay tuned and ride with me, okay? Next, we had Kylee Adamson. 18 did When You Say Nothing at All by Alison Krauss. And she had a nice twang in her voice, and Keith said she had him as soon as she started singing. 3 yeses. Keith Sanders, Michael Simeon, and Tessa Norman all went through in a little collage thing. I think they all went through. Yeah, they did. And Samantha Townsend, 22, seemed to be scatting, and I didn't know what she was doing, and they allowed some guy to play his keyboard as we got a whole slew of people that they didn't like, but they didn't really get to, we didn't really get to hear him sing. They just kind of went through, and they were doing something where the judges were talking about different things that were going on, and I was listening to the singing, so I was missing a lot of what they were saying, but I think it was something about what they're looking for, you know, and how somebody can change their mind and all this good stuff, and I was missing a lot of it because the singing was going on and my ear was tuned to the singing, so, you know, I just totally missed out on that. I don't know, y'all need to fix that. If you think they need to fix it also, thumb this up if you enjoyed the commentary. Also, make sure to thumb it up. I ain't gonna play no music, I ain't gonna do nothing but tell you what happened on the show, and hopefully we can have a good discussion about it. Next up was Alex Preston, 20 years old, did an original song, and I was surprised by the voice that came out of him. It was kind of affected, but in a good way, with a lot of character and great use of his registers. He got 3 yeses. Keith said it was a great original, and Harry agreed. Then Samantha Combs, 25, did From Birth, also an original song, and I really liked the song when she started, and I thought she was going to do spoken word the whole time, you know, because she started out with spoken word, but she had a nice little tone going on. Harry asked for something else because he was like, you know, we want to see if you can sing, you know, something besides that. She did the Jefferson's theme song, moving on up, and totally jazzed it out and got 3 yeses to go through. She looks like she's going to be a lot of fun. They did the Idol bus tour again and brought all the best people from the tour to sing for the judges, because during the Idol bus tour they don't have the American Idol judges, there's some of the producers, so they brought them in to sing. Lebryant crew was 24, did My Babe by Little Walter, and he's a preacher and has so much personality and a great voice. He went through, and I think he's going to be fun to watch. Laurel Wright was 18, she did an original song, had a nice sound, and decided to sing her own song to show them what she does, and it was pretty great too. She went through to Hollywood. DJ Bradley was 20 years old, did Hometown Glory by Adele, and he came in looking like Ed Sheeran, right? But he had a brighter sound to his vocal, and I was feeling like there's a lot of really good talent tonight. J-Lo said the sound of his voice was different and pleasant, so she said yes, and Keith was on the fence, but we saw at the end that he went through to Hollywood. We didn't see who voted yes, no, blah, blah, and the other. Kenzie Hall was 16, did I'm Gonna Find Another You by John Mayer, and her voice fit great on this bluesy tune with just a touch of nasality, but nice control and connection. I liked how she was so confident and took her time. So young, but she seemed to just know where she was, what she wanted to be, didn't feel rushed, just did her thing and just let the judges basically come to her. Right there in the pocket with this. 3 yeses. J-Lo said that she's one of her favorites. Paisley Van Patton was up next. 25, did When the Lights Go Down by Faith Hill, and she had a record there when she was 15 and struggled with alcoholism. She's been clean for 2.5 years. She sang a cappella and immediately had such command of the stage, brought the full force of emotions in. I thought it must have been just a little big for the space, you know, from the sound. I was like, oh, she's blowing it up. But she had some nice small moments too. Definitely gave it her all, and of course, she went through to Hollywood. Hayden Olsen had a strange sound that was pretty decent but didn't make it through. Chase Boyle, 23, and Julia Flores also didn't make it. Jocelyn Baker, 18, and Blake Branscombe, 16, did go to Hollywood. These are people that just flew by all in like this little collage thing that was going on. CJ Harris was 22, did Soul Shine by the Allman Brothers, and he had a nice gruff to his voice and brought along his guitar. I wasn't blown away by his voice after some of the others that we've seen, but it was very likable and an interesting song choice. He got 3 yeses and started crying. That was day 1. Woo! We just flew through that, thank goodness. Day 2, and we started out with some real fire, baby. Tequila Wilson, 24, did Someone Like You by Adele, and she was representing for the big girls. Hey, representing for the big girls. And that voice was full and rough, and I hoped she could bring it down. I was sitting there thinking, I hope she can bring it down nice, and at the end she did. She brought it down very well, made it really sweet and pretty, and I was like, yes, girl, got control and power, perfect. And I wrote, I can hear her doing, and I am telling you already, oh Lord, I'm just waiting on it already. She got 3 yeses to go through, and she has such a great personality. And Harry asked her a question you'll have to watch to see, because I don't want this to be too long, and she answered it the perfect thing. But I loved when she said, I don't care. I don't care what they think. Chase Thornton was 20. He did When I Was Your Man by Bruno Mars. And he's a model and a busser at a restaurant. You know, you say you're a model, you say you're a singer, you say you're an actor. At what restaurant? You know, that's always the thing. Well, I was hoping he'd be good, but William Hung would have beat him. He was not. I was like, what is going on? Key said he didn't know the pitch or the key. He got 3 no's to go home, but he seemed very upbeat. And you know, it seemed to me like this was more of a little promo work for him, you know, to get his name out there as a model. He was a nice looking guy. Then we got a stream of clips of people who didn't make it, but we didn't get their performances, any of their voices or anything, just their faces and crying and the judges saying no. And underneath was running this vocal, and I thought it was somebody's like professional song, and it was Jessica Bassett, 22. She had a great calming vocal, you know, and I was just like, I thought it was professional. And they sent her home, and I was like, no! The producers obviously liked her because they were running her vocal under the whole thing, her audition. It was just really nice. And then they showed a clip of Keith Urban at 16 years old on the TV talent show, and he did not get the best comments from the judges. Obviously he didn't win, but he did get some good advice from one of the judges who was talking to him. And then a clip of J-Lo when she was 22 on In Living Color, and Harry Connick Jr. playing at a festival at 10 years old. And this was all, I think, basically to say, you know, if you don't make it now and you get good comments, keep working on it, you can still be a star. Because a lot of people who did these competitions, there's a lot of famous people who did competitions when they were young or whatever in their teens, and they didn't win, like Beyonce, Christina Aguilera, and quite a few other people, and they still became big stars. So take it in stride, take those comments, take those criticisms, keep working on your vocal, you know, and if you need to do it, you're gonna do it. Emily Rattler was 17, she did Valerie by Amy Winehouse, and she had a good present sound, just all there, and some nice inflections, and played the guitar. J-Lo said she's the real thing and talked about how natural she was. She got 3 yeses to go through. Dexter Roberts was 22, he did I Like to Drive by Casey James, and he came on quick and strong and country, real country, and I was bopping my head along with him and smiling from ear to ear. Really enjoyed this performance. He got 3 yeses to go to Hollywood. Ali Roundy was 18, did At Last by Etta James, and I didn't think she did great on this song, but she did have a nice vibe. The judges said they felt she needs more time, and she got 2 no's to go home. Then Briston Maroney was 15. He did You Can't Always Get What You Want by the Rolling Stones, and he was very poised for 15. Such a young guy. Had a really nice, strange sound to him, just very unique. I liked how he was just vibing and feeling the music. He was like, at several points he looked like he was about to close his eyes, but he kind of kept it focused and stuff. But he was just ignoring the judges almost and just totally into this song. Really, really great way to be. Just performing and letting everything come to you. He went through to Hollywood. Then we had a few people that I wrote down. A Samoan guy they called Fish made it through. Sabrina Lentini made it through. Carson Henline made it through, and they all sounded pretty good. Johnny Newcomb was 16. He did Last Kiss by Pearl Jam. He had a kind of rough sound, and Harry said he didn't think it was his real voice and that he was emulating somebody else and he was too young and all this. So he asked to do another song. Just was like, you know, no beg, no, I think I could change your mind. Can I do something else? He did something else, and he changed J-Lo's mind, and then Harry said no, and J-Lo basically pressured Keith into saying yes, and he went through to Hollywood. Then Kimberly Tosti, 25, did Barracuda by Heart, and I don't believe she even made it through the producers. And she said she was trained in opera for several years and all that, but let me tell you, from somebody who was trained classically as a singer, thank you, she didn't have any control, no tone, no placement, nothing. I was like, where did you train? Because you need to get your money back, girl. The judges were so nice to her, and they were like, they're just like, it was so loud. But while she was there, they were like, I think that maybe you would be more successful in opera. I don't think so. Not the way she sang. I'm sorry, I hate to be mean, but it's true. Then we had Carmen Delgina. She was 24. And her dad is Wonder Mike from the Sugar Hill Gang. Hip hop, a hippie to the, oh no, that's the first 78, the first song, the first record I ever bought with my own money. Okay, so to me, she sounded very rough. And she sounded like she hadn't even warmed up her voice before she performed. Just crotchety and rackety and all kind of rocks and stuff going on. And I would not have put her through. But the judges were telling her, oh, that she needed this and she needed to get her confidence and this and the other and there's some talent there. But there was a disconnect for them, blah, blah, blah. But they still gave her 3 yeses to go to Hollywood. Even though they passed up some other people that their audition was a lot better than hers. And I think they just wanted to meet her father, right? Because they were like, can you bring him in the room? Oh, Lord. But we'll see what happens in Hollywood. She wouldn't have made it through if I was a judge. Cassandra Castaneda was 16. She did Chasing Pavements by Adele. And I wasn't impressed when she began, but she had a better sound as she went along, as it went higher in her range. And even when she came back down, it was even better. So I think she was kind of warming it up. And then as she came down, it was just a lot more pleasant and a lot more pleasing. Harry said no, but J-Lo and Keith both said yes for her to go Hollywood. Next we had Kenneth Whitty Gaddy, 28. He did Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. Oh yeah, coming for to carry me. He got 3 yeses to go through after taking us to church with this acapella spiritual. Then Casey Thrasher, 22, was last. He did Believe by Brooks and Dunn, and he gave himself a chord and sang some of it a cappella, and it was very nice. Then came back in with the music on his guitar, just really did his thing. He was very emotional in this performance and just singing for his life. I mean, for dear life. His voice was okay to good, but it was his conviction that won me over. He was just all into the emotion, and everything was just like giving it to us, giving us a full performance. He got 3 yeses and he started tearing up. And that was it for the night. I made it through. Oh my God, I'm so tired, y'all. 30 golden tickets were given out in Salt Lake City. And at the end, Keith was like, I think we gave out the most tickets of anywhere. Nope, not even close, because I think 46 were given out somewhere. I forget which city, but y'all wasn't even close. Alright, this is Robert Anton, robertantonnyc.com. Make sure to thumb this up once again to spread it around. Let other people know that we are watching Idol over here and that we are in discussions. You can follow me on Twitter as I tweet the show live during commercials. And just thank you guys for sticking around. If you stuck around, make sure to put stuck around down in the comments. I am out. Peace.